2.0 way of organizing themselves. They just do not participate in those. It is not worth it because government does not offer very real power shifts in terms of offering decision power to, if you talk about defining the money, where the money goes. You can give your opinion, but nothing more. No real power shifts. There's also a lack of, how do you say it? There's no wish, because there's no need for each other's involvement. You just don't want to do it. It's just a lot of extra work, and why would you do that? So, in my analysis is that there is a kind of stereotypic mutual mistrust on both sides, on the side of governments towards citizens and on the side of citizens towards governments. They mistrust the quality of each other's participation and they mistrust the quantity of each other's participation. What you see is on the government side, they really don't see that citizens would be able to give high quality input if they open up consultation spaces, for example. And also, they also complain about the number of people that come to those sites. If you look at the other side, if you look at citizens, then they really don't trust governments to really offer real power shifts, and they don't trust governments and they don't expect governments to process their input in a good way and to reply to them what they did with those inputs. So there's a lot of mistrust on both sides. So, if you look at the future of e-participation, it is not so much about ICT. That's not the challenge, that's not the problem, in my view. Trust in citizen participation on both sides, that is almost a cultural challenge. How do you find solution for this trust issue? I have some ideas how you can do that. The basis of all is to be reciprocal. You not only give, but you should also receive the things that other people give. And also you have to return. And that's the kind of sociological perspective on it. You not only give information, not only give possibilities to participate, but you really should receive it and return it. And that's what's missing, in my view, a lot of the times. So you not only should bond, but you should also bridge between all those initiatives and people who are interested in doing that. So what can governments do to build trust, to give, receive, and return? I think they should much more open up the data that they have. A lot of data is closed, not available, not in a reusable way, and that should be one thing that they could do. Another thing they could do is open up their processes for policy development, but also processes for decision making, more democratic institutions that are there. That's a very difficult question and a very political sensitive issue to tackle. What governments also could do is organize co-productive reflexivity, as I call it. Just talk about citizens, about organizations, how they can do their processes and their data in a different way. Talk about that on a more abstract level. Also promote e-skills and e-awareness within their organizations, because those skills and awareness is very much lacking in a lot of local governments. As I said, it's maybe just one or two persons who are very enthusiastic about it, and most of the other people hardly know what Web 2.0 is. And that's a problem, of course. Also invest in your external network. Truly listen, that's what I call. Not listen, no, truly listen. Put your ears where the energy is, because citizens are organizing themselves in a lot of ways online. You can go there, you can listen. One thing you can do extra is you participate, you be available and visible as a civil servant in those discussions taking place in their own places. So bridge to those networks. What they also should do, in my view, much more than they do now, is to stimulate initiatives to grow, to exist, and to help them with attention, help them with money and with expertise, and help them with information. So stimulate the growth of new initiatives by citizens. And last thing, also include those initiatives that are already there in the processes that you organize within your own government organization. The last thing, make e-participation worth it. Offer real power shift, I mentioned it earlier. And, what can government do to build trust? Last thing I wanted to say is follow the citizens' agenda and not so much your own political agenda. If you start from the issues that really matters to citizens, you can build from there. You should reverse your perspective as a government. So what can citizens do to build trust? I think that they should much more inform governments, also give information. They should inform governments about their activities, about their views, about their network, what they do. Be visible and speak up. Much more than they do now, because a lot of times the local governments and civil servants do not know the existence of all those online networks and other initiatives. Make also explicit what you expect from government. If you want to do something with the government, think about what do you expect. Do you expect some data that you need? Do you expect money to start developing a site or etc.? Do you need just some expertise for anything, or just want some time and attention? Just something to talk with. A third thing that citizens can do, bridge with other initiatives. That's lacking most of the times. So not only bond, but also bridge, expand your network much more than they do now. A fourth thing, plug into pre-existing democratic institutions. A lot of initiatives are fed up with the government, are fed up with the democratic institutions, and they want to bypass it, and in that way, indirect way, have influence on the political system and the decisions that they take. I think that's one thing you can do, but you should never neglect the existing institutions that are there, because that's where the power is, and you should always bridge in an important way with those institutions. You cannot neglect them. That should not be wise to do. And never stop investing in society. That's the last thing citizens can do. Always start new initiatives, mobilize people, and speak up what you think, and show the agenda, the social agenda that you as a citizen think is important, in addition to the political agenda. As I'm here on a conference, an Hackers at Random conference, I just wanted to think what hackers could do to help e-participation the next few years become a little bit more mature. In my view, what hackers could and should do is surprise and confront governments as much as they can with new concepts, with new prototypes and examples, and organize it in a reflexive way. So invite governments and citizens to talk about those concepts and find ways to develop truly working prototypes, for example. But do that very actively. Do not wait for a government to invite you, but just promote yourself as people who have ideas to make things better, to make service delivery better, to make democratic processes better, etc. Use available data, because there is already some data available. From our ministry, we just have an open data contest in which we invite all kinds of people to think of data that